Hey you guys, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we're gonna play Fumble Rumble with middle-aged Atlantis. I got two turns for you, turn 40 and 41, so let's see if we can do a twofer. Okay, so turn 40. We got 500 gold from TNG, which means he's going to be taking this province that we agreed. So he's going to be taking this, and this is going to be giving him death access. Wait, whoops. Oh, down here. Mines of Despair. It's paying me for the lab, which otherwise he would have had to build. I think I'm okay with him getting death access. Anyway. Okay, so now for the events. No sites found, unfortunate. We are attacking Atlantis. Or we are attacking them. Pelagia is attacking us in Pelagia. So if you recall last episode, we had scripted up our fight. I've got my real army back here, and this is the army that's going to be storming the fort. These guys are going to be buffering this army to deal with anybody that comes out at the beginning and try to, like, kill a gem burner. Okay, and they run. So that's that. We have a battle here where we're attacking Umphalia. And this is just really to deny it from Yis. Holy shit, he's got a lot of little mage smiths here for being Pangea. He's done a pretty damn good job seducing these guys. I mean, it sucks that he lost, like, this war with Yis in Ulm, because, like, this would be the wet dream of Pangea, is to steal less these guys, more the master smiths. But to steal, like, I mean, and he does have some, right? But to steal... God, he got an E3 one? Or wait, did this guy do... Oh, he did Earth Power. I mean, to steal, like, 3 or 4 of these guys, I mean, it is huge. It's huge. You're basically going to be giving yourself, like, 4 1-gem items a turn or something. I mean, however many you get, it's going to be that many 1-gem items a turn. I mean, you're basically having, like, 2 nations in one, almost, when you get this. It's that good. Okay, but we take it successfully here, so we cordon off more lands for ourselves. Okay, and then we have a battle inside the fortress of Pelagia. Now, what I need to show you two before this start. Alright, we'll do it in this. And I thought about doing the ping, but I really didn't want to ping because I'm worried he's going to hit some kind of research target. Like, right now, I have Shark Attack and he doesn't. And Shark Attack can be really powerful. So I've changed the formation. I was going to have like a little aisle that they went through the middle, and I found that didn't work very well. So now I've got like a little buffing thing they come to with like a little T-bone at the front. In reality, they're not really going to hit the T-bone. This is more stuff that is going to die if I lose the fight. And it will cause me to suffer an HP rout before they come kill all my mages. I need some guys, I mean, these guys are going to go in too, that are going to die before, like, they start killing mages, ideally. Okay, Light of the Northern Star, he cast that, which is annoying. I'm guessing that was his... Okay, yeah, so on his side, he has way more mages than I thought. I thought he had like 4 or 5. He's got like 10. And it appears most of them... Some of them are... I don't know what this one's going to be doing with the Earth Gems. Maybe Strength of Giants? I don't know. These guys... I mean, they could do Earth Elementals. Yeah. He's got quite a few of them. Stone Daddy the Monolith. Now, I didn't expect a Monolith either. I thought he had a rainbow. Because he had quite a few magic paths. What I didn't really realize is that really only one of them would have been off-path for water. Or for a Monolith. And that was water. So it could be this was the cheapest design. But even if it wasn't the cheapest, being able to mono-drop somebody could be pretty huge. So that's actually something I kind of have to worry about. The problem is if he mono-drops me, I can probably kill his Monolith, because I can just teleport my squid on top of it. So anyway, this is going to be an actual problem. Now, water elementals will be able to kill even 34 protection. It's going to struggle with body ethereal, and this guy can't regenerate. He has no way to kind of heal chip damage. So, yeah, it's going to be tricky. Now, his base HP is only 200, but it's up 120 from Dominion. So one option is I just starve him out of Dominion. But that's like a really slow kill, and I would really like for this war to be over quickly. And it's possible with our quickened water elementals we could kill him here. But I think I've underestimated the number of mages he has. So it's really going to come down to how well these quickened ethereal water elementals do. So we've got Soul Slay coming out. You can see the Soul Slay is actually preferentially targeting these War Shamblers, which is fine by me. Okay, you see Body Ethereal went off here. Quickness is going off. It's hard to see who's getting what. Okay, this guy has gotten Quickness and Body Ethereal. These guys, I think, only got Body Ethereal. This guy's casting Protection. I'm not sure who he's gotten with it. I was really hoping, and I didn't really test this part. Yeah, we can just see it went over here. He's preferring a square with 2 Mother Guards in it than he is a Water Elemental, and I think that's because they have more strength. So it could be when I do this, I have to position, like, either fewer bodyguards? I don't know. So our water elementals are charging in. I think that was Legions of Steel, which not really going to help most of these guys. Should help them, though. Yeah, he did make Earth Elementals. And our mages are now doing Water Strike. Okay, now I'm going to turn on team colored squares because we're getting to the point where it's kind of like water elemental battle. So Shark Attack we have up, and you can see we're getting some sharks. We're not getting nearly as many as I thought, and I know this got nerfed, but so far it seems to be nerfed way more than I thought it would be. Okay, that shark just got deleted by an elemental. The thing is, so he has more elementals if you count them up, but our elementals are way better. Like, Ethereal Quickened are way, way better than these guys. So they're going to eat them alive if they just get to fight. Now, he's got a few guys on Advance and Cast Spells, it appears. And his Pretender, though, is just spamming out Swarm. Just spamming Swarm out. If we can kill all these elementals before this, like, Swarm spam, as it has gone off script, really takes effect, we'll be in good shape. Okay, unfortunately, all this chaff is making it so we're not really killing the elementals, which is what we really need to do. So this swarm is actually kind of Jedi. And I think sometimes he's casting School of Sharks, which is causing these little fuckers to come in. Now this isn't really going to be a problem because we have people mostly on Guard Commander. But our defenses are kind of getting overwhelmed. So I think this, and I mean, really this whole Pelagian War has kind of served as a lesson of how effective gem usage can be on mages, like when you're summoning with Swarm and Water Elementals. Because that's really what he's living off of, and I don't know where all his incomes come from, because he's done just an ungodly amount. I went and counted up how many gems this was on his side, and I think it was about 50. Maybe it was more. These mages back here didn't really have that much on them, but his Pretender had a lot, and his Pretender's worked his way through almost all of them but 6, and I think he was loaded up with 30. So that's like 25. And then I think he had another 20, maybe 25 on his other mages. See, what's weird... is it looks like he fucking cast Shark Attack, right? But I'm the one that cast it. Okay, so they're killing some of my mages, so this guy's gonna die. These guys are probably gonna die. These mages are now walking forward. You know, perhaps I should cast School of Sharks, because it's gonna bring people into his backline, and he has nothing to protect it. Okay, meanwhile, most of our mages are going to get off the battlefield. So, anyway, let's look at the pros and cons of all of this. The bad news is that, obviously, we didn't take his capital. The other bad news is we suffered a fair amount of losses. If we sum it up and look at it, we lost 2 Coral Queens, and we lost 1 King of the Deep. So that's significant in and of itself. I mean, these are 265, so that's, you know, over 500, and then this is, let's call it 300. So that's like 800 of gold of commanders, which is a lot. And then for our Mother Guard, they're 40 apiece, so that's another, like, 400, 420, or, I mean, 480. So, yeah, we're up to, like, what? 1,200 gold, and then these guys are not terribly cheap. We lost, what, 34... okay, 1 second. Every 4 will be 100. So it's... yeah, it's like 850. So I think you sum everything up, we're pretty close to 2,000 gold lost, which is a lot. Now everybody that retreated lived, and that's because we own all the surrounding territory. So if you're worried about retreating, just own everything around the province you're attacking, and you'll do a good job. So okay, we lost 2,000. On his side, he lost about 50 gems, which are probably getting kind of difficult for him to replace at this point. And when you're kind of down to 3 provinces, people usually aren't going to give you that many gems if he's getting handouts, because at some point, you know, you're just throwing good money after bad, trying to keep somebody alive or in the game. But on his side, he lost this guy, who was 95 gold. That's this guy who's 40, so up to 130. And then he lost 6 of these guys, so the remaining... he's not going to get any more Knights of the Deep, hopefully, this game. So 70 times 6, which is... oh god, my brain is failing me today. 42, right? So 420. So on top of everything else, that's like 540, and then the Sea Dogs, let's say, he just summoned these, so how much do Sea Dogs cost? Are they... I forget what path they are. wonder if they're nature. Sea dogs right here. 5 for 3. So that's probably like 4 casts. So we'll call that like 10 gems. I mean 3 casts, so we'll call that like 10 gems. It could be only 2 castings of it if he had a high-powered mage. So let's say like 10 nature gems here, and then he spent another total 50 gems in the battle. So money I lost a lot more. But even in terms of proportional economies, I might not have lost that much more. Because I lost probably like way more money, but he lost... But his economy is really, really small. So it's probably an okay trade just in terms of like economic damage. The other thing I'll say is he spent a ton of gems. Now, on my side, I probably spent 10 gems or something. I mean, not 10, probably like 20 gems maybe, and he spent 50. So his gem income is probably like 10 total. I mean, I don't know what sites are in here, but that's all he has, right? And this is only 5. Meanwhile, my gem income is like 50 or something, right? Maybe 60. So, anyway, that's okay. You know, it's not good. This is not what we wanted to have happen. So I have decisions to make. One thing is, so this is important to know, is his god, who was a very important part of him winning this, his god cannot break siege. If I ever let him get control of his capital again, he can have his god patrol. But it cannot break siege, so I cannot let him break out. Otherwise, he'll be able to start recruiting. And I don't want him to recruit out of his capital. So one objective is to keep him pinned inside his cap. Then I have to decide, am I going to storm it and like kill everybody? Or am I going to just like dumb kill him or something, which is something you can do with very stubborn monoliths. Now, one thing we can note, and this actually is going to have a lot to do with my plan, is he has a lot of non-sacred mages. And while he has poison resistance in his bless, so these guys are immune to poison resistance. Everybody else is not. And that is going to be my plan, is to... If I can kill all the mages, then he's not really going to be able to summon enough chaff to keep me... to keep my water elementals from killing everything. And if my water elementals close in on him, I have a very, very good chance of killing him. So I think that's the plan A. Plan B is I dom kill him. The other thing I have to figure out is, like, he's starting to obviously recruit out of here. Potentially he could get like a little liberation army. I think it's very unlikely, but I'd like to go ahead and shut that down. Now, while I would like to go ahead and raid, if he has like PD plus somebody set up to do Soul Slay, it's not going to work. And I'm not going to be able to know without trying, but I don't think it's worth it. These guys are too expensive. And so while it would be really great to stop him here on these forts, I'm not really going to do it. I'm not going to risk it, is basically what it is. So there's a few things that are going on. We're going to go ahead and move everybody back on top of the fort. I'm expecting he's not going to bring the army out, because his army would die. He probably didn't even have gems yet. We're just going to put people out there to kill gem baiters, with some of the mages up in front just casting quickness. Right? And then hopefully they'll quicken some of these guys, like maybe even the monster fish, and they will run forward and kill everything. So that's what this is set up for. If he brought all the mages, I think we would still win. But I don't know. It's possible that it could be a little bit of a blunder, but I think it's unlikely. It's unlikely. In terms of the spells, mostly people are just casting buffing stuff. I do have Shark Attack scripted. So, if it does turn into a big fight, Shark Attack in conjunction with all these guys dying, hopefully will do it for me. But we won't know until we see what happens. This was the province we kind of swiped out from Pangaea, but really from Yis. We see this fort here is cracked, so it would be kind of hilarious if Pangaea actually, like, conquers Ulm while Yis has taken his capital, which we can see is now Yis's. I'm going to move over here so we can see what's going on in this fort. I kind of want to get... Like, I kind of want to teleport my god on top of it, but if there's Movark Knights, I probably shouldn't. Yeah. I don't think there's a way to get this guy to kill Movarks. They're kind of just too killy. It's a unicorn. It's the fact they have that lance. With the piercing damage, it's hard. I mean, I'm fire resistant. I'm gonna be immune to the other stuff. But it's that lance. And Temper Flesh is nice and all. It's possible. I should test it. I might do that, and then... I already have a test game set up where I did test it, but it kind of didn't work. But maybe if I tweak some things or adjust gear or something like that, maybe it could work. So the Palisade we've got coming up now. Mr. Hands is researching. We're one turn away from Construction 6. Construction 6 is going to mean a lot of things for us. Most importantly, it's going to mean lightless lanterns. Next, most importantly, it's going to mean that we can go ahead and forge Rings of Wizardry and Rings of Sorcery. And what that will enable us to do is basically climb death really high. We'll also not quite... We're not going to be able to climb fire with... Excuse me, with just that, but we'll be able to climb nature really high too. Potentially we can take this nature 2, put a Thistle Mace on them in both rings, and they'll be nature 5. And we could potentially steal Mother Oak. Mother Oak is really nice to have as an underwater nation, if for no other reason than you can just spam out living castles. Which is nice to do. Because then you can put up a lot of temples and have Dominion control, like good Dom push coming out. Yeah. It's probably not best case use all the time for nature gems, but if you've just got a glut and you don't know what to do, that is certainly not a bad worst case. So, we've got that going on. He's going to start forging those rings after that research is done. And then also, if somehow he loses a path in Astral, it'll be less devastating once I have those rings forged. And he would lose a path potentially if he dies. So. Okay, so what next? We've got construction finishing up, then I've switched it up. We're going enchantment. I was going to go Alt 5. Alt 5 allows me to do fun things like Iron Warriors, which allows me, I think, better little thugging combos. Yeah, so I was going to do that, but I've decided Enchantment 5. And the reason I've decided Enchantment 5 is because I have Amazons. And Amazons with the Thistle Mace can do Foul Vapors. And Foul Vapors, I think, is going to be my Bunker Buster. And I'm just going to drop it inside here and give them enough guys where, you know, hopefully we're not going to die. And defending him, and he's going to just sit there for as long as he can, and then retreat. Or he'll probably just die. I'm probably just going to throw away the Thistle Mace. So, but I think if I have somebody else going with him and they do anti-magic so that we're kind of resistant to Soul Slay, with like 5 bodyguards and like 5 people attacking, then not only will I do a full gem burn, but I think there's a very, very good chance that we kill all his mages. And if I get all his mages outside of his cap, then I can kill his god. So I think it's going to be a two-phase attack. I don't want to do Foul Vapors with my army, because I'm not resistant to it. So there's that. The other really good thing, if I send in enough bodyguards, it's possible I could get my guy out, because it's possible that everybody will run. I mean, everybody will die before my army will die from whatever he's using as a summon. And as they die, my mage will retreat. And if I give my mage, like, poison resistance gear, or she casts poison resistance, then we'll be in the money. So, anyway, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a little risky, but it is going to be my play. And we are going to be making a Thistle Mace this turn, because we will have Foul Vapors pretty damn quick. Like, we're going to finish this, and then it's going to be 2 turns until Foul Vapor. So I won't have it next turn, but I'll have it turn after. So that's basically that. We talked about kind of the update on this situation. Yis is continuing on to conquer this after taking just phenomenally huge losses. And I do want to see if I can get Pangaea to tell me what's on top. If there's no Movark Knights, I'm going to take it. But I think I'm going to ask him next turn, actually. If there are Movark Knights, I'm going to test it again, and if it works, then I'll take it. The problem doing that is I'm then going to trigger a war, but I think I'm ready for the war, because once I hit Construction 6, which I'm hitting this turn, I can forge Starshine Skullcaps, which means I can teleport thugs onto, and I think I got my first thug this turn. Yeah, my teleporting thug. So I got my first Astral King of the Deeps. So I can, but anyway, I can teleport him on top of armies and potentially kind of wipe them out. There are risks doing this. I mean, the Astral ones are pretty good, but they're not great against magic weapons, and they have magic weapons on top of the Movarks. So I'll have to see if I can come up with a gear set that can kill Movarks, because it's possible I can't. And if I can't, then we'll be in a little bit of trouble. But that's one of the things we're going to test. These guys are pretty good, but they really do rely on Body Ethereal. Now, the other gear set that we have, like if we just wanted to kind of talk about what their script's going to be, versus normal dudes, it would be something like Body Ethereal, Astral Shield, Quicken Self, Liquid Body Attack, right? And then you give them a brand, and they just kind of go murder stuff. You have to deal with the fatigue. This is kind of long script. You have to deal with fatigue, and you probably would do Quicken Self last, in case you get rushed. So, yeah, it would kind of work. The things we would need to, in terms of items to deal with Movarks, is we're going to need at least 5 fire resistance. We're going to need good armor. We could put stone boots on him, which would get our natural protection up to 15. I don't think that's actually necessarily a great use. I think it's probably better to use the boots for reinvigoration, and then use both of these for defensive things. And I'm not exactly sure what the defensive things would be. I think the armor, maybe it's a Ring of Regen, and then like Armor of Knights, and then a Bracer of Protection. We can use kind of whatever hat we want to. Maybe like the Fire Hat. I think that might give fire resistance, which would be really good. Gives our 5 fire resistance tick mark. Maybe a Vine Shield, maybe an Ice Shield. I'm not sure which one. And then a brand, probably like a Frost Brand would do. That's kind of the kit I would test, is like my intuition for what probably... It's an expensive kit, by the way. Oh, this would have to be... Oh, we don't have fire resistance in, because this would be a Starshine Skullcap. So maybe a Charcoal Shield if they don't have... fire resistance. Oh, they do have fire resistance. And they have lances. Could be... I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it more, but... Because so far none of our gear has fire resistance. But it could be... I'm not sure. I'm gonna pause and go look. Okay, so I've gone and kind of researched this, and basically there's only a few one-handed items which will give you fire resistance. One of them is a firebrand, which potentially could be good. I think it will get some chip damage through the fire resistance and armor of Yessian Knights. And then if it's not a Yessian Knight, it will chop them up pretty good. And so that's nice. And it's particularly good. It's nice having two weapons when you have a quickness on your dude. The other option is a charcoal shield, which will not... I mean, so any of the shields are going to give me at least one encumbrance, so that's a problem. It's more fatigue we have to dissipate. It's going to be higher fatigue at the end of our buffing script. But it will make us a little bit more resistant to PD. So, like, if he does a PD dump and the PD surround me, he'll kill them off pretty quickly and won't waste attacks on them. But it won't work underwater, so that'll depend where the battles take place. And the fire shield itself is not going to do any damage against Yessian Knights. They have enough protection combined with fire resistance, they'll be fine. The final option is the Golden Hoplon, and that is going to give me 15 fire resistance, and it has a much better parry value than the shield. So potentially I could do like a defense-focused script myself. The problem with that is a defense-focused script versus Movark Knights is not going to work. So right now it's looking to me like a firebrand might actually be the best option. But anyway, that's something we'll have to kind of forge ourselves in a hot minute. Basically next turn when we get Construction 5. So that's going on. The other thing, and this is interesting, is we are moving in to this province here. So we're going to try number 2 with the Thug against Shark Tribe. And it is very sad that our first guy died. The other thing is we're sneaking in a bat so he can go ahead and site search. The script we have here, I think we've gone through it before, but Summon Earth Power, Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, Ice Shield, Breath of Winter, and then we'll see how that goes in the next turn. So, I think that's about it. And we are going to be site searching too, because some of our mages who ran are in, semi-convenient site searching locations. I think we're going to move this guy up here to site search. I think that was the plan. Yeah. So otherwise, we're just kind of hanging tight. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything I've missed. Nope, so we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.